A very good morning to all of you students. Welcome to another lecture of Essentials of Business Communication, Presentation and Skills and Group Communication. In this particular lecture of mine, I'll be focusing on the aspects of meeting, notices, planning meeting, objectives, and the participants of meeting. Like in my previous lecture, I talked a lot about the aspects of group communication. And I also told you that what is group communication at all. Meeting is also a kind of a communication wherein you will be explicating your aspects and you will be fulfilling you can say, the objectivity of any kind of conversational attitudes. What is the meeting and how does it actually take place? Let us have a look at it. To begin with, let us see that what exactly is meeting. A meeting is a group of communication. A meeting is a group communication in action around the different agenda at a set time to establish durations. So you can say that there is an agenda behind every meeting and there is a purpose behind every meeting. When you are conducting a meeting, you are always into the angle of having a particular objectivity to attain the desired results. Meeting can be effective, ineffective, or complete waste of time. Now, I have segregated three different angles of meeting. The very first thing is an effective meeting. An effective meeting is one in which everyone is going to listen to you, give their opinion, and come up to with a conclusion. An ineffective meeting is one where there is a discussion, but nobody is actually coming to the desired results or to the desired applications. And the complete waste of time meeting is the one which we always are up to your, you can say, during your group discussions and all, or when you are in your informal attitudes and all. Because the concept is that you are coming together with a particular purpose. Now, if you're coming together for a particular purpose, you should actually solve that purpose. But there are situations and there are certain kind of, you can say, those elements in a meeting itself that it actually begins with a very purpose of it, and then it goes, you can say, that there is a complete disapprobation of birds and all, or you can also say that there are peoples who are going to make it much more into the waste of time aspects. In If time is money and ineffectiveness and efficiency are your goal, you have to arrange your meeting, lead a meeting, and participate in one of the one which you consider to be worth of time. See, there are two angles: the efficiency and the effectiveness, and also the time aspects. We all are belonging to this particular corporate world, and when we are in a corporate world, we believe that time is very important for each one of us. Now, when you are conducting a meeting, say for example, a particular company says that okay, today there is a meeting at 4 p.m. So the time slot which is chosen as 4 p.m., the very first thing is, as per the professional norm, says that it should start at 4 p.m. sharp. It should not start at 4:01 or 4:10 or 4:15 or something like that, because professionalism says that you have to start your meeting at the very time which you have communicated. Uh, your Mosvik RK in the year 1996 says that if your concept is time bound and you are also into the aspect of arranging the meeting, and you think that if you're attending a meeting, your time should not waste. This thing, if you keep in mind, then you have to attend such a meeting which according to you is not a waste of time, because see, attending every meeting is very compulsory in your corporate lifestyle. But if you believe that say your peers or your group of people say that okay, today there's a meeting at cafe, so meeting at cafe will be an informal meeting, and whether you want to attend that meeting or not, it is entirely up to you, that whether you consider it as a waste of time or as a soulful purpose. Meeting can occur face to face, but increasingly business and industry are developing the telecom conferencing, video conferencing option of technology improves the cost, participate is reduced, and cost of traveling includes the time of considered. So these days, with the advent of your pandemic and all, when we all are locked down into our homes, it is believed that if you're conducting a meeting, you can go for your Zoom meeting and all. You can also to go for your video conferencing, teleconferencing and all, which have you can say evolved with a period of time. Earlier people used to meet in physical, people used to meet in physical, and then they actually develop the kind of attitudes and all. But nowadays the aspects of video conferencing is there, the concept of Google Talks is there, the concept of Google Meeting is also there, uh, Skype meeting is also there. So these have actually emerged as a new form of meeting. Now, meeting is not of a typical traditional one that is shown in a picture. You can also communicate by using your teleconferencing and video conferencing, and plus these days with the advent, and not only with the advent of your pandemic and all. Before that, also people were conducting meeting through the teleconferencing to the video lectures and all, or to the video conferencing and all, to make it much more corporate in nature. Now, to this was the aspects of particular meeting. Now, to begin with that, what is the purpose why we actually conduct a meeting? You say that today at particular point of time there is a meeting. Now, is a particular meeting has a purpose? Purpose means what is the reason or what is the objectivity behind having a meeting. The very first thing or very first purpose is sharing of information. You see, meeting is all about communication. If you communicate something more effectively, you shouldn't run a meeting. But if the meeting is best way to communicate, then that is the way to can go for. So the concept is that in communication it is said that if you are able to deliver whatever you want to deliver to your people at large, then there is no way of conducting a meeting. But there are certain situations. Say, for example, you want to meet your salespeople, you want to meet your entire staff at a particular point of time. So, and you cannot go to each and every person and say whatever you want to say. So, the best part is that you can conduct a meeting. If you want to share an information, say for example, our dean sir, if you want to communicate a particular aspect which is to be dealt with each and every teacher, or which should be known to each and every professor or teacher, or some people like that. So he cannot go to each and every person, or he cannot put a notice, because there are certain things which cannot put in notice also. So what he will do, he will go for a particular kind of meeting. So the concept behind meeting is that sharing of information is the very first purpose of maintaining, or you can say conducting of a meeting. What information should be shared in meeting? Here, what you need to know. When should you run a meeting? Now, the concept is that in the next aspect of my this particular slide only, I will be telling you that when should you actually conduct a meeting, or when should you know that you can actually running a meeting, or something like that. For example, you are restructuring your organization. People will have questions about their roles and responsibilities, futures, look, but information sharing meeting could be simple status of updating a meeting. So, say for instance, there is a particular course to be launched. Launching a particular course will be a kind of a notice that can be given to each and every teacher, or each and every teacher can be informed about that. This is the kind of course which is being introduced by the university and all. But if a particular entire modulation of entire subject is there, say for example, you can say a new course is being launched to a particular university, or a new horizon is being launched to a university, or a new professor, or a new dean has joined, or new vice chancellor has joined a particular university. So what he will do, people will be much more in an option that what will be the roles now, what is the new pattern of changes which he is going to bring about, what is his own duties, what he believes, how he wants us to behave and all. So each and everything will be discussed at large, not only with single people differently, but they will conduct a meeting and then make a discussion over it. So meeting, the very purpose of meeting is that you are sharing your information. The very first thing is that you want to share information, and there are certain information which you cannot write on a piece of paper, or you cannot write on a piece of say notice board and all. You cannot distribute that thing to each and every individual. For that, you want to conduct a meeting. Point number two, making decisions. Now, the aspect is that if you want to make a decision, say for example, your company is not functioning well because of Mr. Jones. Now, Mr. Jones is a sales head and he has been working for a very rigorous period of time, and he has made, you can say, he was a pillar when the company was in struggle days. He was the main pillar who kept the company intact. Now, the point is that whether to eradicate Mr. Jones from the particular sales team or not, or can he be trained at large, or can he be given a second chance? Now, the concept behind this particular decision will be taken only at meeting, because each and every member will be called now, and then it will be discussed that what was the concept which was there with Mr. Jones, or what actually happened and all. See, how you do make the decisions during the meeting, what is the key making decisions in meeting, this is what I'm going to tell you. That's right, preparation comes prepared for your meeting, and ask other to come prepared too. This means sharing of agenda and ask everyone to prepare their talks and point and question before the meeting. See, in this particular point, like in my very first thing, I said that very first purpose of meeting is to share of information. The second purpose is to make a decision. Say, for example, I gave you an example of Mr. Jones, and Mr. Jones needs to be, he in his personal life is going through a very tough time. And just because of that reason, he made a kind of a situation occurred in the company that he was not able to look after the company so well as he was looking after. So it will be now discussed that what actually happened. So people in his team, he will be also coming prepared by his own talks and all. He will, and his team will also come prepared by the talks and all, that as to what decision should come. See, basically, the meeting is being conducted for a kind of decision, and when a decision is to be taken, each and every member who is sitting in the meeting should come prepared. It should not be that only the boss is going to speak. It is each and every person who's going to give their own reviews or their own points to make a decision much more apt and in accordance to the nature of the company culture and all. Third, creating the solutions. Now, for example, a project lags behind, you need to figure out the new approach to execute it successfully. Now, uh, just take an example of a particular project. If a particular project is there and it is not functioning well, say for example, the sales of the company is not functioning well, or you can say the consumer are not behaving in that particular fashion as they ought to be. You created a particular toy, and you want that toy is to be popularized in the market at large. Now, a toy industry, when they found that this particular toy is not actually being absorbed in the market, so now they will be creating a solution as to what do the people actually want. Coming to this particular answer will be another purpose of conducting of a meeting. So you have to clarify, just if you just add on to my aspect, the first thing is that you need to clarify your research, formulate your challenges, and then take the steps to get your answers and get your co-workers on board. So in other words, you don't start generating ideas during your meeting. Instead, you combine and evaluate those ideas. So the very thing is that you are not going to say that, okay, this is a particular solution, let's do it. No, you will actually listen to each and every person. See, you can have an opinion of an autocratic boss, but these days having an autocratic behavior is no longer in existence. People have a kind of an attitude to listen to each and every person at large. So the concept is that people are, when people are listening to each and every person at large, so they are listening and taking down the ideas, and when they are taking down the ideas on a piece of paper, they will be, then after that they will be combining those ideas and making a particular point. and after that they will be coming to a particular solution to the options of meeting as to what they need to do and how they need to do. So you cannot. The third thing is that the third purpose of meeting is that the first one is to give an information, the second one was to make a decision, and the third one is to create a solution. So solution or bringing a solution to a particular problem is also a purpose of meeting, because without, if see, there are chances you can bring solution also just by conducting your discussion over a people and all. But the thing is that if you are discussing with people singly, you cannot have that particular preview which you will have, which you will be having in your meeting. So the concept behind meeting, the third concept behind meeting, is to bring a particular clear solution to the particular problem. Next is building relationships. Now, students, the very first thing is that a particular organization is going to have a relationship, a formal and an informal, with each and every member at large. Why we say that a particular organization is a family, or why do we actually celebrate those kind of festivals in your company culture and all? The basic reason behind is that to create and build much more powerful relationships. See, a particular individual is there joining a company for the very first time, and the basic purpose for joining his company is that he wants to have an edge over others. So that kind of person is also there, and there is an introvert is also there, an extremist is also there, and a pessimist is also there. Combining all these people into one team and making a relationship can only be done by conducting a meeting. Say, for example, the purpose of meeting isn't to just share the information, but also to some building a vague thing, that is building of relationships. Teamwork can only be possible with the help of your relationships and all. So, what I mean to say is that if you want to cooperate, sell, and build relationship, the best thing is that you conduct a meeting. Because in a meeting, when a meeting is conducted, each one of us are open. And listen, students, you have to keep one thing in mind, that when you are actually conducting a meeting or you are attending a meeting, don't sit over there and just look at the faces of people. Just try to give your point of views also when you are asked. You cannot, you can raise your hand also. At times, people also say, and you can also wait for your turn to speak. But do not sit over there and do not just have a look at each and every one of us and just smile at each one of us. No. The thing is that only you have to build a relationship, and then you can build a relationship just by having a meeting aspects. And the thing how you're going to build a relationship is that you are going to allow others first to talk, give specific praise, and then ask for questions. A group discussion, when in a group you are discussing something, or when you must have gone through various stages of your transformation also. So you have seen that when you are discussing something in a particular family or in a particular group of yours also, you are actually waiting for your turn. The similar thing is that which you're going to do in your this particular meeting also. You will allow other to talk first. See, you have to be a very good listener. The fourth angle or the fourth purpose of this meeting says that you have to build a relationship. And for building a relationship, you first have to be a very good listener. Listen to what the other point has to say. Secondly, you have to give specific praise. Yeah, your point is very good. I totally agree with your point. I think that this is the thing which we actually wanted. Is a kind of appraisal which you are giving to a particular individual, and the person is going to feel very, very. You can say he will be contented that whatever he has said, you are actually agreeing to him. Because the moment you agree to a particular point, then you can now have a particular criteria or a base where you can put your views also, and he is now bound. He or she will be bound to to just go along with you and listen to your words also. Next, or the third aspect is ask questions. when you are building a relationship, after listening to the points and giving your opinion, then ask your question that do you also feel in the same manner as which I am thinking, or do you agree to my point or not? This is going to give him an opinion that okay, now it's my turn to speak, and now I will be speaking and putting a point across you. So the concept is that to build a relationship, or to build a very formal or an informal relationship in an organization, meeting can be of an ultimate purpose. Next, sharing inspirations. Now, give people ideas, challenge them to think new ways, and develop themselves. For example, during a meeting, ask meeting attendants to set up a specific goal based on what you have discussed in the meeting. What do happens to achieve the goals? They can be shared with everyone else. That's right. They feel more motivated than ever. The agenda for this meeting is to try to figure out why we are having this meeting. See, the concept, this particular cartoon of mine, the boss is not himself only clear that why he is having this particular kind of meeting. This should not at all be there in your meeting. You have to inspire also. See, there are two angles. One is your persona, and one is your outwardly talks and all, or your communication that is going to inspire people at large. So the fifth angle or the fifth purpose of meeting is to sharing the inspirational aspects. In a particular meeting, a boss said that okay, Mr. X, I give you a target of two accounts to handle and two leads to follow. Now, Mr. Y, when saw this, he said, "Sir, I would like to go for three accounts and also for three leads." This will automatically generate the concept of competitiveness, and people will be inspired by that particular person. That when he can do, I can also do. And then, say for example, a particular person is there in a meeting who is actually being awarded as an excellent award or being a best employer award also, and he's sharing his experiences that sir has given me a particular opportunity, and earlier I was not able to do my task and all. Earlier I was not able to follow my leads, or I was not in a position to follow the kind of content and all, and make my communication aspects better. But with the help of my sir, I actually made this thing, and it is almost like an inspirational story. Another angle to meeting. So when you are sharing an inspirational story, see, one thing is that you share an inspirational story inside your cubics, or you can say amongst your people and all. And one thing is that which you are sharing in your meeting. Now, when in a meeting, everyone is going to listen to you. In a particular group or in a particular circle, only those people will listen whom you want to make them listen. So the concept behind is that when you are addressing a large number of people, you are actually influencing them. You are actually giving an inspirational talks to them to have a meeting at large. Or meeting, or the fifth angle of meeting says that you can only inspire people by your meetings aspects. Negotiating, you can do the negotiation purposes by your meetings only. Why it always happens that, say for example, I called this meeting to get your input on how we can stop hiring so many meetings. Now this particular thing is very interesting, that this particular lady is saying that no more, it is not necessary to conduct more meeting, but this is just a cartoon. So the concept behind this particular slide is that negotiation can only possible by a meeting. In a particular factory there is a lockout, and your union leader is not able to listen to you, and he's not in a position, he will not listen to you. He says that okay, I want my duties, my obligations, or I want these things to be fulfilled. Only then my people will work. So you cannot go to his house to have a particular negotiation aspect. You cannot call him into your particular cabin. For that, you need to negotiate him, and in order to negotiate that particular person, or with that particular person, or trade leader or a union leader, it is very much an important thing that meeting should be conducted. Because as soon as you say that I want to meet this particular leader, it will create a kind of sense into his mind that okay, my top management want to negotiate with me, and then the concept will start to solve. So the very first thing of negotiation or the meeting aspect of negotiation is that you have to listen to the other party. You cannot say that the norm says this and I won't be listening to you, or the norm says this, I won't be listening to the things which you want to say, or I'm not going to listen to your views and all. This is what I can do for you. This is the best thing, and close your meeting. No, you have to actually listen to his words. You actually have to listen to his ideas, his conceptions, his notions and all, so that you can have the clear cut review as to what he expects from you. Then you have to come prepared. See, in a particular, if a lockout is there, or you can say if a particular salary hike is also there, is also an option which they can also go for, that the salary is very less and all. So you have to come prepared. Like if a particular employee or a particular group of bunch of workers are saying that they are not getting they are not going to getting the satisfied amount of salary, so the concept is that you have to come prepared as to why you're not able to give the exact amount of salary. You can give an angle, you can give your own opinion, you can give your own reviews. Don't get stuck on your specific issue. See, if a particular person is saying that sanitation is the basic problem in a particular factory, and we won't be working if sanitations are not taken into considerations, so you cannot say no, I won't be doing those sanitations and all. I would be just because you are my worker, I am paying you for this thing, and you are bound to do this activity. See, no one is your bounded slave. In this particular time, or in this particular period, when you are actually conducting a particular kind of business, you have to make concern that whatever is a particular rules and regulation, you have to follow them. So the concept is that you cannot stick to your one angle that I won't listen to you, I won't listen to you. If you are going to do this, the negotiation process will become very, very difficult. Ask questions. After your negotiation takes place, you are bound, and it is very, very necessary to ask a question that are you satisfied with the negotiation or not. Once the once say for example, if he is not if you make a end of the meeting, that after the meeting you say okay, I will consider your things, and this is what I can do for you, and are you satisfied? The moment you say, "Are you satisfied?" he or she, or whatever the thing is that, yeah, they will be bound to think that company or boss is actually listening to us. So when he is listening to us, we should also be normal and try to bring our things better, or give them better angle, or something like that. So the concept is that negotiation can only make possible with the help of a meetings. Educate others. A workshop, a talk, or a thought of leader. And why not ask employees to share their skills and knowledge with each other? See, the purpose of, or the seventh purpose of meeting is that you are actually educating others, just like an inspiration aspect, which I just said in my fifth point, that you're sharing an information and all. The seventh purpose says that sharing your information and educating others also is a purpose of meeting. You conduct an orientation program. Orientation program is a kind of a gathering, but if there are, say, you can say those 10 people, or say two or three or four people and all, and you are orienting them for the very first time in your company, you will be conducting a meeting. You will be actually educating them, you will be introducing them to the company's norms and cultures, and this thing can be only possible with the help of meeting. You cannot go to each and every person's cabin or each and every person's desk and tell him that this is what is my expectations, this is the particular company's culture, this is the particular company's norms, rules, regulations. So education, or education just only doesn't mean the education which you people are getting. Education also means the kind of rules and regulations which you ought to follow in a particular company culture. And this is what is the purpose or the seventh purpose of a meeting. So talking about these were the basic purposes of your meeting at large. Now let us come to that there are certain advantages and disadvantages of having a meeting. Now, when you say that you are conducting a meeting, you are actually conducting a particular type of horizon wherein you are now making people understand your views and your thoughts in a manner that whatever you want to communicate, you are communicating to them in a very ease and a poised, calm manner. So, to talk about advantages, the very first advantage is that opportunity to solve problem together. The very first element, the term company, means come and penny. That is to have your bread together. So the when the aspect of company is having your bread together or solving your problems together. So if you want to do this in your organization or in your company, so the meeting will be very very helpful, or the very first advantage of meeting is that you are now in a particular situation to solve the problem together, because single or in a singleton way you cannot solve a particular problem. If you want to solve a problem, you are bound to make a group and then conduct a meeting and then form a particular opinion of everyone. Ability to make everyone feel included. Now see, for example, there is a particular situation in a company, and the boss only calls the marketing people. How will the other people feel? Other people will feel that there must be something very important to the towards the marketing people, and the boss says that you are not allowed to discuss this outside, or outside this particular you can say this kind of yeah, this these kind of rooms and all. You are not allowed to discuss all these things. So how will other people will feel? You will feel sacked out, and they will feel very you can say they will be feeling a kind of an attitude that boss have actually he is favoring a particular marketing team. So the concept behind meeting is that each one will feel that he or she is now included into a company culture, and they can now give their own opinion, and the concept of togetherness will actually develop in a particular meeting itself. Time to get everyone aligned about the topic. Now, the concept is that company is having a loss and people are talking about their salary. Now, unless and until the boss or the main heads are not going to conduct a meeting, they won't be able to come up to a particular problem that the company is occurring a loss or is going through a loss, and they are giving the salaries, but they are giving the salaries at their own benefits. So the concept behind meeting is that it will be actually aligning all the people at large, that you have to understand the problem of the company also. And your last advantage is that not only the last, this is the last for this particular slide. Some people find them relaxing compared to an independent work. I'd say that actually a disadvantage. See, most of us feel that okay, it's a meeting. I will just sit over there. I will just relax for a time, because after my hectic work, I will get some time, some 20 minutes or 30 minutes, or say 1 hour meeting, if made applicable and all. I will get 1 hour time to relax, and I can relax over there. So this is a kind of a disadvantage if you take it in point of view of professionalism. But for few people, they believe that if they want to relax, meeting is a very good place to relax and all. So so don't take it an other angle to it. But what some people are into a habit of talking about the disadvantage. The very first disadvantage is that it takes lots of time away from being productive. Now, every moment, every time, or every nick of hour you are conducting a meeting, you say okay, today there is a meeting, today there is a meeting, today there is a meeting at 2, 3, 4 and all. uh, This way, you are actually hampering the productivity of people. You can have a meeting at the seventh day of the week, or you can say at the end of the month, or at the end of half month, that is 6 months and all, or at the end of the year. But if you are conducting a meeting daily, this will actually hamper the productivity of people. Because, say, for example, you say that, okay, there's a meeting at 4. People will be coming exhausted in after their daily works and all and attend your meeting. They will come at 4, 4:10, 4:05, 4:20, 4:30 and all. And you will be starting with your meetings. Then that particular lag of time or that phase of time will be actually wasted. You are doing nothing but wasting a time. So there is lots and lots of time being uh, you can say it has been taken out from the productive nature. People are invited to meeting when they aren't need there. See, it is not necessary to invite all of the people. Like I told you that, say for example, it is those people from sales or those people from marketing. They will feel that they are lagged behind. But uh, the second angle or the second dimension to my words is also that if you are inviting everyone into the meeting, you say, see, the concept is that if you are doing, if you are conducting a meeting, invite only the heads. Say for example, you are conducting a meeting of, say, you want to go for the profitability indexes and all, or you want to tell the company that, okay, people, we will be doing this kind of rules and we will be bringing this kind of rules into our particular curriculum and all. So invite only the heads of the departments, or invite only the heads of the people who are actually needed over there. Involving each one of them will create a kind of a combustion and will create a kind of a, you can say, a havoc situation where you will not be able to handle. The loudest people in the room can dominate the conversation. See, it is a very very known truth that once you raise your voice, you will actually become a kind of an attraction into the eyes of others. But this is a very negative term which I am telling you people. You cannot raise your voice. You cannot raise your voice in your meeting. You cannot raise your voice in your presentation. But you have to be very, very subtle. So the point is then that there are certain kind of people, and the people are into a habit that they will create a loud voices and all, and after those loud voices, they will make a kind of an effect onto the people that listen to what I am saying, listen, follow my rules, follow my regulations, follow my things, and also try to impose. They will actually impose people upon them. So the concept is that loudest people will dominate the meeting, and out of, say, you can say 50 times, 45 times it always happens, unless takeaways are write down after decision made meeting aren't recorded. See, if you are recording a meeting, it's well and good, but if you are not recording a meeting, you have to make a minute of it or make a note of it so that it can be used it as a further references. So the concept is that there are, see, these days we are conducting a Zoom meeting, or we are conducting your Google meeting and all. So you have to actually record those meetings in your particular, say, in your particular laptops or into particular gadgets of yours, in whichever mode which you are taking. So the thing is that when you are doing this thing, or adopting this methodology, this will actually make it more possible. But the disadvantage of meeting is that it is not being recorded these days in a sense which it actually needs to record. Now there are particularly few types of meetings. I would like to explicate on it. A status update meeting. That's the first type of meeting. This category includes regular team and project meetings where primary goal is to align the team while updates on progress, challenges, and the next stage. Commonly found group activities in these kind of meeting are problem solving, decision making, prioritizing, and task assignment. So the concept is that you are actually updating your status. So students, the thing behind or the types of meeting, the very first angle or types of meeting includes the status update meeting. Status update meeting is a kind of meeting wherein you are actually updating your status in terms of, solving a particular issue in a company. Say, for example, meeting reschedule to all day long. So, this is a kind of a jovial thing. But in reality, you are actually solving a particular problem, a challenge, or making a decision, or making a prioritization, or managing a task. In this kind of meeting, you're actually updating the structure. You can update the structure of the company, you can update the new objective of the company, you can make the aims and objectives also to the company at large, so that people can be updated about that. Okay, these are the new rules and regulations, these are the problems which companies going through, and let us be in together to solve this particular kind of problem. It is it is the very first aspect in which you will be told that what is the status update of your particular company or a particular organization. Second meeting is an information sharing meeting. This is just like, you can say, a presentation, or you can say the primary goal of this meeting is for the speaker to share information with attendees. This could be information about the things like upcoming changes, new product techniques, depth knowledge, domains, and all. So the concept behind this is, say for example, in a particular organization, a new software is to be launched, and a new software, or you can say a new machine, will be launched, wherein your temperature will be recorded, and at the same time your heart rate will be recorded, so that it can be told that, okay, this person is fit and this person is unfit. So this kind of new thing will be introduced into the company. This is the kind of an information which should be told to each and every person. And this information cannot be shared with each and every person. The boss is not going to go to each and every desk and say, okay, I'm going to bring this kind of machine, I'm going to bring this kind of machine. So he will conduct a meeting. He will make that person make a kind of a software orientation and all, and then discuss that particular angle, providing the information sharing, providing the information sharing angle to the people in a better options. Decision making meeting. In this kind of meeting, the actual decision regarding the profitability index, or you can say the old fashioned ideas, or the conversion of the old fashioned ideas into the new fashioned ideas, will be taken into consideration. So the concept, these are different type of groups decision making process. Care should be taken to choose a process that is best matching the situation. See, say for example, Nick Jones, a particular person of a particular company, Nick Jones has performed really well, but he is too lethargic, or he has been awarded the Employee of the Month because of his attendance, and he is being regular in his attendance. He is being coming to the company even on those off days and all, and working for the benefit of the company. So the decision is to be taken whether he should be promoted or not, but there are many things which are lagging him behind. So the concept is that decision should be taken in a manner that it should be kept into mind that each and every angle should be discussed, each and every point should be discussed, so that the decisions should be taken in accordance to the real need or to the real types. Problem solving. You are actually solving a particular kind of problem. The problem could be any type, or of any nature, or of any angle. It could be said that you can focus upon your future groups, you can focus upon your present needs, cultures, and all. Solving a problem. Okay, your fifth is your innovation meeting. Innovation meeting is going to include when you are actually innovating something into the company, you are making those evaluations and all, and you want an say for example, you are innovating, just like I told you about the information aspect. You are bringing a particular kind of company culture, that to adopt a particular tie, the next week you already wearing tie from now onwards. So this is a new innovation which you will be doing in your company. So this innovation is also to be communicated, and the innovative meeting is going to evaluate upon these decisions and all. Team building meeting, it is going to build a particular team. You can say, bringing all hands together to make your organization better can be done only with these kind of meetings. So this was the aspects about as to what are the types of meeting. Notice with reference to meeting. Now, this particular slide will tell you about the notices and what is the real need of notice. The aspect of notice is that a notice will be telling you that this is a thing which you ought to have in nature at large. So the concept behind this thing is that when you are making a particular decision onto a notice, you have to keep in mind that notice will be a kind of a document where the directors of the company will be telling a particular kind of people that what is the thing all about. So this is a document in which date, time, place, and meeting aspect will be taken into consideration. So, notice is a kind of a document wherein it will be told that this is meeting all about and this is an information which will be conducting into a meeting. There are two categories of meeting, namely meeting with the board of directors and meeting with the members of the company. Meeting with the board of directors will hold a discussion issues related to the running management of the company. That means the board directors are the main originators of the company. You can say they will be discussing about the new visions, new missions, new objectivities, and all. And the members of the company, this will be including every member, every director, secretaries, auditors, and also that the things can be made at large and can be made more possible. So, notice is a kind of a document which will be imbibing these people, which will be including all these people, and it is a kind of a documentation process that will be including the date time aspect, the place, the time, the horizons, and the zones where the meeting will be conducted. Now, notice with reference to meeting, there are an aspects you can say this document signifies there are two categories of meetings, which I have already told you all. So, annual general meeting with reference to your meeting, if you say there are annual general meeting also in your annual general meeting, you will be conducting a meeting aspects. Every company is required to hold your first annual general meeting within every month. This is you can say this is also a type of meeting. Type of meeting is also you can include in type of meeting, annual general meeting, and this kind of meeting or the notice of this kind of meeting holds that annually you have to conduct this meeting so that the shareholders or the stakeholders will be able to know that whatever is running into the company or how the company is behaving. Extraordinary general meeting. Extraordinary general meeting will be something which is related to your voting powers or voting rights of the company, wherein you are actually taking a major decision or a great decisions to remove a particular sector from your company or a particular group of people from a company, which are not a part and parcel of the parts of the company or which are not fit to be in the company at large. So notice can be made in regarding to this also. A statutory meeting will be held in every 6 months. So the notice of the meeting be issued to the company secretaries 21 days before the meeting. So the concept behind notice of every meeting, whether it is an annual meeting or an extraordinary meeting or a statutory meeting, is that 21 days before conducting of any annual general meeting or your extraordinary general meeting or your statutory meeting, you are bound to issue this particular notice to the registrar or to the particular person or to the people at large so that people may be able to know that this is going to be taken place and the meeting can be conducted thereon. Notice with reference to meeting, when the meeting is conveyed, notice is required to send to all attendants. It should satisfy these conditions. Now there are particular conditions which notice should follow. It should be under proper authority. That means there should be an authority as to who is sending the notice or who will be actually invited to these people and all. It should state the name of the organization. Name of the organization should be there. Date, time, place should be there. It should be well in advance, 7 days before the conducting of the meeting, or 21 days to the registrar, whatever the thing is, or 48 hours if it is of an urgent meeting and all. The 48 hours before that meeting. It should state a purpose and agenda as to why you are conducting a meeting. It should carry the date of circulation by the conveyor. It should go to all persons required to attend the meeting and should also mention the TADA, etc. for this purpose. So, if you are having a particular kind of notice, See, if you're maintaining the annual general meeting, or you are conducting an extraordinary general meeting, or you are conducting a statutory meeting, a notice must be issued to the company secretary, the secretary of the company, 21 days before conducting of the meeting. But apart from that particular thing, to each and every member, it should be given 7 days prior of the meeting, 7 days before the meeting. So the thing is that, or if some kind of an urgent meeting is there, at least 48 hours before. So the concept behind this particular notice is that to hold each and every aspect that what will be discussed in meeting, so that each and every member should know that this meeting is all about this particular thing, and should be come prepared for that particular thing, so that the meeting can be not taken place with just like you can say just aspects and all. It should be taken that everything should be going in accordance and with ease and convenience. In practice, it is necessary to ensure that notice will be reaching in time and can be done to telephonically. We often find between the date of letter as a major public date, there's a gap of, we often find that between the date of letter for major public organization and postmark of the letter, there should be a gap of 10 to 12 days. A notice that reaches before 7 days should reach to 7 days before the meet. So 7 days concept, this is exactly the format of a particular meeting as to what you can go for notices and all. If a particular notice is there, the company's name is there, the corporate office is there, the signatories, the you can say the person who is conducting the meeting and all is also there, the registered office is there, the concept as to what the meeting is all about, everything is being mentioned. So this is the way which you're going to be conducting a particular kind of notice. So notice will be just like a kind of an information circular to be sent to the people at large as to what the meeting is all about, as to how the meeting will be conducting, and as to how you will be conducting things in a better and a sequential manner. Notice can be of, you can say, an actual notice, a constructive notice. If you can say about the topic with reference to meeting, it is an actual notice, a constructive notice, funding opportunity announcement notice, judicial notice. These are the basic types of notice. Those administrative laws notice, previous notice, public notice, registration and all. So this is exactly the kind of or types of notice at large. These can be dealt. These can also be dealt here with while reading also. Planning a meeting. If you're planning a meeting, you have to follow a particular kind of a normal culture by which you can conduct a proper meeting and make it a much more effective thing. Decide if you really need a meeting. The very first thing is that you have to decide upon that whether you need a meeting or whether you need a discussion. Only invite those who need to be there. I've already told you, if you are inviting a particular crowd into a meeting, it will be just like a gathering, a social gathering. Don't make a social gathering, it's a meeting. Send meeting reminders. If you are making a particular meeting, you are out to make the reminders. You have to remind people that this particular time you are having this particular kind of meeting. Have an agenda. Without an agenda, or without a purpose, or without you can say agenda or an objective, just like without an objective, the company will not function. In the similar manner, without an agenda as to why you are conducting or why you have actually called people, you cannot conduct a meeting at large. Be clear about your expectations. That means that what you need to do. See, just like this particular gentleman is making those rough sheets, those cutting and rough sheets and cutting of those documentations and all. This should not be there in your planning meeting at all. The start or time, I have already told you that when the time slot is being given of 4 p.m. or 3 p.m. or 2 p.m., it should start at crisp 2 p.m. or 2 o'clock or 3 p.m. or 4 p.m. or whatever time is. You cannot start after 10 minutes or before 10 minutes. It should start at the very time. Keep it short and keep it simple. You have to be very, very short and precise. If you are not short and precise and you are just going on with decisionary aspects or various things and all, you cannot make the things at large. Stay on the topic. See, the topic of a particular meeting is promotion of Nick Jones. And you are saying, no, the topic of meeting is why Nick Jones should be promoted. So there's a difference. You have to stay on to the topic itself. You cannot go beyond his particular norma culture. You cannot be you have to think that okay, if this particular thing is there, it is a discussion. It is a discussion meeting. You cannot go into the personal angles or to the personal horizons of someone. You have to stick to your topics. Take smaller meetings outside the conference room. Remember, there are chances people will not agree to each one of them, or will not believe, or will not go in with you, in lieu with you. And the thing will be that you can take those small meetings outside the conference room also. Don't be afraid to take a different approach. See, if you are making a particular dialogue, don't make a dialogue in a meeting. You cannot say, I used to work burning my oils into this particular company. Don't be filming and all. You have to be very, very practical in nature. Use technology. You have to use the best of the technology. Send meeting summary. You have to concise a meeting and send it to your authorities so that they can have a look that this is the meeting all about and this is what we have done. Objectives of meeting, you have to solve problems, you have to make decisions, you have to provide updates, brainstorming ideas, to build team morale, consideration of effective meeting. So these are the basic objectives. If you talk about the participants should be those who have knowledge about a particular thing, who have a power to take a decision. See, every Tom, Dick, and Harry cannot participate in your meeting. But if Tom, Dick, and Harry can are a particular part and parcel of the team, or they are some worth and they can take decision, they can be into your team at large. So the concept behind this particular slide is that you have to actually involve only those people who are there in a team and who can work for the benefit of yours. So for that, uh, the ability to implant decisions, those people who can just make the decisions aspects and all, those who have time to participate. Say for example, you are given a particular time to a particular person, but you at that time he's not free. You have to check that also. Responsibility of the participants. Every participant should take proper points. Every participant should read carefully in meeting, should arrange for the visual needs, observe the other members, speak most appropriate time, and control of anger. Flexible, accommodating attitude, not to show the lecturing patronization, not to be lengthy speech, ability to judge for the persons. So these are the basic responsibilities of your particular participant. If you talk about each and every participant, I would just like to mention few of the very important ones. That is, you have to actually observe people as to what they want to say and then comment upon that. Give them time and listen to them. Speak the most appropriate time. And the best thing which you ought to do, students, is that you have to do away with your anger and meeting. In a meeting, you cannot raise your voice, you cannot bang onto the table, you cannot do these things because this thing is a kind of an informal thing. You can do in your informal groups and all, but not at meeting. So that was all about the meeting aspect which we have discussed. We have discussed, let's make a quick recap of what we have discussed. We have discussed about what are the meetings, what are the purpose of meeting, the advantages, types, notices, planning, objectives, participants. We have also discussed as to what are the responsibilities of participants. So that brings to an end of my lengthy lecture to you all. It was also a lengthy lecture. So the thing is that meeting is a very, very essential component in this particular organization. You are adopting a particular company's culture into your daily activities. And if you want to conduct a meeting, remember that these points, if you take into your consideration, you can conduct a very effective meeting. And I am pretty much sure that my students are much more capable to conduct a proper meeting and with proper ease and convenience. If still any of the doubts are there in your minds and you are not able to understand any angle of my slide, you can write to me on my email. You can come to me at my cubicles. You are most invited. And you can also write me on a WhatsApp. Till my next lecture, thank you.